So a few things before I start. The American flag sunglasses are just too cool to not and too bombastic, and loud not to wear, as is my pink and pearly prayer beads. But my internet was down, so any of the videos that I uploaded, I wound up uploading via cell phone, far away from my Wi-Fi connection. And then, of course, I have a picture of the Great One in my midst. I should hang that up because there's this flag that's behind me. You know, just to confuse people. You know, they have no clue what city I'm from. You know, at all, or what state I live in. Yet that is the coolest flag. I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry. There's an expression, sorry, not sorry, that's going around and it sickens me. But this question is golden, and I'm so glad it was asked. It's by France S. And I don't know if that's supposed to be, his name is Francis, but he wanted to spell it in a certain way, or if his actual first name is France, and his last name is something that begins with an S. I hope he doesn't mind me calling him Frank. So I'll probably just do that instead of just keep saying France. It just kind of doesn't flow. Or France S, which sounds like Francis. So here it goes. And again, I like the atheists who actually have conversations, who aren't like, fuck you, asshole, you believe in a zombie. Okay, that was productive, you know. And oh, I got the most foul-mouthed, most perverted-minded Mormon come on here. Yikes. And other people were yelling stuff back at him, but I was just like, it's just more proof. Try to prove the Book of Mormon wrong. Well, you know, horses, cattle, wheat, barley, things that are constantly, and camels, things that are constantly talked about in the Book of Mormon. Yeah, they weren't here until the time of Columbus. So your book was written by a convicted fraud. And the Pearl of Great Price, this thing right here, has a Book of Abraham, what's called the Book of Abraham in it, that came from an Egyptian, like, not like the Book of the Dead, but this circular thing that the Egyptians put on the bodies of mummies, you know, and they were pretty much mass produced, and we know they all say pretty much the same thing, with leaving a blank space to insert the departed's name. And Joseph Smith didn't realize that the Rosetta Stone already had cracked the code of, you know, we could read hieroglyphs, and to this day they still have that ancient piece of Egyptian papyrus, and they claimed it talked about Abraham and Isaac and all. No, it was a guy named Osiris who was being buried, and it was asking for the invocations from all these pagan gods, and they still go, no, it's the perfect book. It's better than the Bible. See, the Bible, you know, screwed everything up. You know, we're meant to worship many gods, not one. But getting to Frank's message, which I love this, I love what he says. Materialism doesn't demonstrate that free will doesn't exist. Secondly, what's this got to do with atheism? Well, as I said, and I should repeat this in every single video, I'm not talking about technical, like atheism, as in I don't believe in I don't actually believe in a god, but I believe that there are superhumans and demigods and an afterlife and ghosts and wizards. I'm talking about the modern. When you say atheist, what come that which comes to mind? I guess you could be an atheist and also believe in an afterlife and angels and demons under the very textbook under the very literal strict definition. When I'm talking about atheists, I'm talking about the new phenomenon of atheists where it's all you see is all you get. There's nothing more, right? Um, and this had perverted into new atheists, which Richard Dawkins was the kickoff of that, and his bitchy whininess, being offended, personally offended at others' beliefs. And Pendula does the same thing, although he acts cooler, and I really like Pendula, except for the fact that he will he his he has he has stopped being friends with people because he found out that they said, I don't know, I'm kind of an agnostic, but I kind of believe in a God. Boom, that he can't tolerate people who are like that, which I think is extremely creepy. Um, at least the fanatics of, the Westboro Baptist Church, or, fanatical Muslims, have a book and a culture supporting them, but an individual acting like a tyrannical, like Caligula, is just creepy. Not to say that, well, going on. Materialism doesn't demonstrate that free will doesn't exist. Okay, so you're born and you have genetics. You have half your chromosomes from your father, half your chromosomes from your mother. Um, you inherit your genes from your mother and father and their ancestors, right? Um, you're born into an environment with different chemicals and such. You take in, food and other things such as poisons or whatever, and viruses come and go, and there's bacteria everywhere. And then you're with people, because we're a social animal, and that's what shapes you. Your personality is either a product of your genetics or your upbringing, meaning interaction with people, and that's it. Most likely a combination of both, and that's it. There's really no you. Um, and if materialism is correct, then yes, everything can be predicted down to the electron. From the start of the Big Bang, because there's no other force moving on the physical world, you can predict things down to a T. You could have a big, if you had a powerful enough computer and an intelligent enough math equation that you could put into that, you could predict on, Thursday, year 2023, this person will say this in this tone of voice, and they will have, a pain behind their ear, and in a few days they'll have a sore throat, and you could, down to what they're wearing. Um, I wish I had my old college uh, textbook with me, Philosophy 101, about the difference between rationalists versus empiricists, and then it goes on into, you know, um, uh, dualism and all this kind of stuff, and is it about arguments about God with Hume. But no, I I'd love to talk to you individually, but I don't know how much more obvious it can get that if you're a materialist, not only do you not have free will, you don't even have the choice to do anything. You couldn't be different even if you tried, and that trying is a response to what somebody said or something did that was going to happen, that could have been foreseen by like some hyper intelligent aliens, you know, 6 billion years ago. The future literally is carved in stone and cannot be changed. The future is just as inchangeable as the past if you're a materialist. Um, just some people just need a while to think about it, but no, there's no. Where's the room for free will? Where's the you know? Because all we are is just very complex carbon machines, right? Without a soul, and without the energies of God, and I'm using the Orthodox definition of God here, without the energies of God penetrating through in into our universe, bleeding over into our world. So no, I mean it's contradictory. I actually met um, very, very intelligent, very smartly dressed young professional man who wore suits and everything. Name of my context. All right. Um, uh, and he grew up very close to me in Chicago. Although he grew up in the black area, I didn't. He was black, so he was fine growing up there. But he turned out great, and he was an atheist that agreed with what Bilsy Bob said. And we started talking, and he I said about atheism. I said, well, then you can't believe in free will at all. And he goes, no, I don't. There's no such thing. It's an illusion. And I immediately liked him from that point on because he understood what it meant to be an atheist materialist. You know what? This is getting a bit long. Let me go get to the second part in part two. So let's just be part one for you. And thank you very much for your comment, by the way. Or also, again, peace to you.